Hello everyone, my name is Joe, welcome to the Genius of Joe. Today, we'll be discussing how do I compose my portraits for outdoor locations. But before I explain further guys, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Joe, I'm a professional portrait photographer where only a year ago went from someone with a quite bland and boring portfolio getting basically no clients at all to someone who gets regular clients and is able to make distinctive work that actually stands out to the rest of the competition. And on this channel, I'm looking to help portrait photographers like yourself not only improve, but to make work that actually stands out to the rest of the industry and break free of that boring and bland portrait work you see online nowadays. If that seems interesting to you guys, please subscribe to the channel. And once I've gained your trust and you're willing to get more personal advice from me, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program where I will personally go on calls with you, I'll critique your portrait work, and I'll just give you any general portrait photography advice that I have gained over multiple years of experience. So you can start accelerating your portrait photography progress now rather than later. So if that seems interesting to you, again guys, top links in the description is where you can check it out and learn more. So how do I compose for my outdoor locations? Well, in my work, I quite like to have a lot of negative space around my models, especially for the mid shots and the full shots of the model, as I don't really like to fill the frame with the model that much. Close-ups is a different story. I may try something different for that, but for the most part, I like negative space. But for outdoor locations, I like to exacerbate that even more, especially if I'm in a location which is quite interesting and quite pretty. For example, I did a photo shoot with my model friend about a month or so back, and we went to this really nice, huge country park with a load of big trees and just a lot of greenery. And to top it off, we were shooting around the evening time, so around 5 to 6 o'clock, so the sun was quite low. Not low enough to where it was golden hour, but just before that. And because the sun was quite low too, it casted these really long and beautiful shadows from the trees, from the rocks, from the leaves on the trees, all that type of stuff. So it created so much depth within the photos. So why would I use negative space within these photos? Well, I want to show off the location as much as possible, as well as showing off the model at the same time. If I'm in this amazing location, and we can all agree it is a pretty beautiful and amazing location, why would I then just do a bunch of close-ups of the model and having the model film the frame? Because if that was the case, I would just pick any park. I could just pick any park within the city to shoot in at any time of the day. But I specifically chose this location because of the unique scenery. And I personally believe, in my opinion, that the location is the main reason why those photos were so good. Like, yeah, obviously I had really nice composition skills and I had a nice lens on. I had an 85mm lens on, so obviously I had a lot of bokeh, shooting at f2. It looked really nice, right? But those things just added to it. Those little factors just added onto it, like the cherry on top. But the cake itself was the location. The photos would have just not hit the same if I just then shot him in like the middle of the city, in like an urban area, maybe a graffiti wall, something like that. It just wouldn't have hit the same. This is what I constantly tell you guys and other people on this channel, is to keep in mind these external factors when you're taking your portraits. So external factors meaning your poses, your locations, your costume design, your accessories, what is the model gonna wear, etc. The main reason why those better professional portrait photographers are much better than you is because they actually consider these external factors within their photos. Obviously, they have departments and stuff that help them out with adjusting these external factors. So they have a department for makeup, a department for costume design, and whatever, right? But if you're new to this game, portrait photography, or you're just not at that level, you probably don't have access to those departments. So the cold reality is, guys, you have to keep in mind and adjust these aspects for yourself. So ask the model what they should wear. Don't just go, oh, let's pull up anything, just wear anything, whatever you want, else I get the photos. Like, don't be closed-minded and only think about your lenses and what lighting I'm gonna use. Think about what the model is gonna wear. They'll really appreciate that, by the way, guys. So if you want your photos to be on that level of those professional big fashion photographers and portrait photographers, you guys, you've got to consider these external factors within your work, probably more than your lenses and your lighting and stuff, right? For me, for example, a lot of my recent photo shoots, I've mainly thought about the costume? What are they going to wear? How are they going to pose, etc.? I'm thinking about those things more than the lighting and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm thinking about the lighting. Obviously, I'm thinking about what lights am I going to use, what is the setup I'm going to go for. But before I'm even thinking about that, I'm thinking about what the pose is going to be. What's the vibe of the shoot I'm going for? What should the model wear, etc. And if you want further guidance with making your portrait work stand out and unique, top links in the description is where you can. So back to the negative space topic. I would suggest if you're shooting in these more unique and eye-catching locations to shoot quite wide. So have the model be quite small within the frame, or maybe only taking up a quarter of the frame or half the frame, whatever. Or make them literally like the tiniest thing in the world, like really small, whatever, it's up to you. But guys, make sure the model is actually interacting with the location and not just standing there like all clueless, right? So have the model walking through a path, have them leaning on a tree or whatever. If it's a park, obviously leaning on a tree, or laying down on the grass, or maybe sitting on a tree, or even looking at the scenery, looking around and actually admiring where they're at, etc. Just anything where they're not just standing there doing nothing, basically. One composition tip that I will give you is to place the negative space wherever the model is looking. So for example, if the model is looking up, then have the negative space above them, right? As this will make it more visually appealing, as wherever the model is looking, our eyes will look to that like area. So if you're shooting, for me, if you're shooting in this really nice park, if they're looking up, you may want to show something off where that is above them. Like a tree, a really nice tree, the sky, a nice view, etc. So compose your photos accordingly to the environment the model is in. Just because it's a portrait shoot, guys, doesn't mean you have to do a bunch of mid shots and close-ups. Like I have to do close-ups, I have to do mid shots. Oh my God, I need to do that. Oh my God, oh whatever, right? Because it's not just about showing off the model in your portrait shoot, but it's about showing off the surroundings around the model, especially if they're interacting with it. So if you're a portrait photographer that likes to do quite tight and close-up shots of your model, there's nothing wrong with that, but if you're in a location like this, you may not want to do that. So you may want to have a lot of negative space and really kind of revert back on the ways you like to shoot. But if you still like to shoot close-ups, there's no point. There's just no point of going to a location like this if you're just going to shoot close-ups. Obviously, it's up to you. I'm not telling you you have to do wide shots, but if you only want to do close-ups and you insist about doing close-ups, there's no point. What's the point of going to a location like this, an amazing location like this, if you're gonna do close-ups? Just do indoor stuff, do studio stuff, or go into a location which doesn't, I don't know, just doesn't really have that much going on, because there's no point, you know what I mean? Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys found this useful. Guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think that negative space is useless? Or do you agree with me? Do you think negative space is necessary? I don't know, let me know in the comments below. By the way guys, if you want more guidance with making your portrait photography unique and more personal and tailored advice, again guys, top links in the description is where you can check that out and learn more. I have my lighting course available if you want to learn more about lighting in a studio and just lighting in general in your portrait photography. There's also a link below. And also a link below, I have my free exposure triangle guide, which is a free video course if you're struggling with the basics of your camera, so like shutter speed, ISO, aperture. You can check that out in the link below too. Click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography, and I'll see you next time guys. Goodbye.